name is Maya Clark, and today I will be doing my speech to inform on what is domestic violence. Have you ever wondered if your relationship was healthy or not? Have you ever been concerned about a family member in a relationship? Today, I'm going to discuss a topic that I believe we all should be deeply aware of. According to the North Carolina Coalition Against Domestic Violence, more than 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner. In 1 year, this equates to more than 10 million people, women and female. Domestic violence doesn't normally begin with physical abuse. It normally begins with verbal abuse and threats and then escalates to physical violence. While physical injury may pose as the most obvious danger, the emotional and psychological consequences are severe too. Melinda Smith, MA, and Jeanne Siegel, PhD. So what is domestic violence? I'm sure we've all heard the term, but what does it really mean? Domestic violence is a widespread issue around the world that we live in that many people are uninformed to. Today, I will identify and explain domestic violence and its prevalence around our world today. Domestic violence is a pattern of behaviors used by one partner to gain and maintain control over another partner in an intimate relationship. It's also known as intimate partner abuse, domestic violence, and intimate partner violence. Domestic violence is not a topic that is heavily spoken on. If the abuse is not physical, then it's normally pushed to the side. But physical abuse is only one of the ways that domestic violence is encountered. According to the National Intimate Partner and Sexual Assault Survey, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men experience severe partner violence in some way. Examples are sexual contact, stalking with impacts of injuries, fearfulness, post-traumatic disorder, use of victim services, and contraction of sexual transmitted diseases. Intimate partner violence is most common between the women of ages 18 through 24. Jennifer L. Truman, PhD, and Rachel E. Morgan, PhD. Now that you are all aware of what domestic violence is, I would like to explain the types of domestic violence, who it affects, and how to get help. There are 6 main types of domestic violence that I would like to introduce. And domestic violence doesn't only affect the victim, it can have a big impact on a group. There are several resources all around the world to help victims of domestic violence. I'll start with the most common type, physical abuse. Physical abuse is simply the physical force that puts a person at risk of being injured or actually injuring them. It includes pushing, kicking, punching, choking, bruising, breaking bones, or even death. Next, there's emotional abuse. This includes the emotional and psychological abuse, and it can be verbal or nonverbal. Physical abuse may seem worse, but the scars left from verbal and emotional abuse are deeper than you think. Examples of physical emotional abuse are destruction of personal property, name calling, threatening, and making the victim feel like there is no way out of the relationship. Next, we have economic abuse. This includes withholding resources such as money. It also includes withholding of physical resources such as clothes or food and preventing a partner from working. We have sexual abuse, which involves forcing someone to participate in unwanted, unsafe, or degrading sexual activity. It also includes sexual harassment and exploitation. Sexual abuse is often linked to physical abuse. It can occur with physical abuse, or the sexual abuse can occur after. Then we have digital abuse. Digital abuse is the use of technology such as texting and social networking to bully, harass, or stalk your intimate partner. If someone is telling you who you can be friends with on social media, using social sites to keep constant tabs on you, or sending you negative, insulting messages, then you are experiencing digital abuse. Lastly, there's reproductive coercion. This is when one partner strips the other of the ability to control their reproductive system. It includes refusing to use condoms, lying about birth control, and forcing pregnancy. So who does domestic violence affect? Domestic violence can affect anyone of any age, gender, race, or sexual orientation. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 1 in 15 children are exposed to intimate partner violence, and 90% of them are eyewitnesses. 52% of females and 17% of males who are domestic violence survivors have post-traumatic stress disorder. It doesn't only affect the victims, but it can also affect their social lives, friends, and their families. A study of intimate partner homicide found that 20% of victims were not the intimate partner themselves, but family members, friends, or just someone who intervened. 72% of all murder-suicides involve an intimate partner, and 94% of those victims are women. So if you or anyone you know are experiencing any of the actions that I identified, it may be a sign of an unhealthy relationship. I encourage you to teach about domestic violence and encourage those who experience domestic violence to get help quickly. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is a 24/7 phone service, and it also has a 24/7 chat online. Anyone who needs help, I encourage you to dial 1-800-799-SAFE immediately. The person next to you could be experiencing domestic violence, and you could be clueless. You could be experiencing yourself and not even be aware of your circumstances. Be aware and take actions to protect yourself and your loved ones. So, do you really know your intimate partner? Everyone deserves a healthy, safe relationship.